Malaysia's biggest political party says the country's prime minister will be guilty of treason if he doesn't recall parliament. And the 2-week deadline from UMNO steps up the pressure on Muhyiddin Yassin. Melissa Go joins us live from Kuala Lumpur for more on this story. Mel, treason, that's a strong word to use. How much weight does UMNO carry, though? And is the prime minister likely to listen?
You know, it's not the first time that former ruling party UMNO has threatened to quit Prime Minister Muhyiddin's Perikatan Nasional coalition. I mean, the party president, Ahmad Zaid Hamidi, has chaired many Supreme Council meetings, the highest decision body in UMNO, and are unable to produce a concrete outcome. And that's why many political analysts I spoke with today, they are quite skeptical of the statement by Mr. Zahid. Does it represent his stance or the party's? But what's more important, they say, is how the 18 UMNO ministers and the deputies, how are they going to vote, or what is their decision? Now, they pledged support for Mr. Muhyiddin's government. They said they're going to do so at least till the next election. They have pledged support for so far. But having said that, UMNO holds the largest bloc of seats in Prime Minister Muhyiddin's Perikatan Nasional coalition. And given that Prime Minister Muhyiddin is said to be ruling with just a very, thin margin, every MP support counts. And that's precisely why Mr. Muhyiddin sought emergency powers in January to suspend the parliament so that he doesn't need to watch his back always. He said that he needed the political stability to better fight the pandemic. But 6 months on, cases of infection did not come down. In fact, Malaysia saw a spike in new cases and death toll as well, and the healthcare system is inundated. And that's why the king and the Malay rulers said that there is no need for emergency rule. The parliament must convene, they said, as soon as possible. Now, Prime Minister Muhyiddin said a bipartisan committee has been set up to look into all the necessaries, including possibility of having a hybrid parliament where it's partly held online and also perhaps a physical sitting. It's still a work in progress, but UMNO just can't wait. They can't wait to have an election because they think they're going to win big so they can be back at the top to helm the government. So as far as the opposition is concerned, they are at least, united on that front of trying to remove Prime Minister Muhyiddin. Now, they want Parliament to reconvene immediately and not wait till emergency is lifted on August 1st. Mr. Muhyiddin's administration has maintained that everything is done in accordance with the federal constitution. All efforts are being made to avoid a constitutional crisis in the country because Malaysia is already facing multiple crises, from health to politics to socio-economic. This is something that they can do without a constitutional crisis. Steve?
Well, speaking of COVID-19, there are signs that any easing of pandemic restrictions might be delayed, in which case, what are the implications for all of this political drama?
Well, Vaccines Minister Khairi Jamaluddin revealed that, he expects 10% of the population to be vaccinated by middle of July. And that's when Malaysia, under the National Recovery Plan, plan to move to phase 2, provided that 10% of the population is vaccinated and cases come down to 4,000 or below. But according to Khairi Jamaluddin, he said that this could be due to, delay in Malaysia not getting the supplies of vaccines as planned. But he's promised that bulk of it will arrive in July, and Malaysia will be stepping up vaccination to hit 200,000 to 300,000 doses a day. Now, Malaysia will have to do better than that in order to reach herd immunity and vaccinate 80% of the population by year end. The timing of it, of course, does have an implication of when the election can be called. Now, under the National Recovery Plan that was unveiled by Mr. Muhyiddin, Malaysia is to exit the pandemic by year end, and that's when 80% of the population vaccinated. Now, although the next election is not due till year 2023, and Mr. Muhyiddin has promised to seek his own mandate when Malaysia exits the pandemic and when the economy recovers. Steve, back to you.
Yeah, thanks for getting us up to speed. Melissa Go there, speaking to us from Kuala Lumpur.